Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, this is the review that a lot of you have been waiting for, and so have I, because I am very excited about this foldable stove that is marketed to be used either in your home or outside. This is the Snow Peaks Home and Camp Burner. And like I said, it's designed for home or outside. It has a maximum of 8,333 BTUs, and of course, like I said, it is foldable and very compact, which is why I think that it's the perfect little stove for someone to have in their apartment. Now, how do I know that this thing works great, ladies and gentlemen? I have already used it just to check it out, but now I'm going to review it for all of you. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unbox this. I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to boil some water with it so that I can fix my breakfast. Later on, we're going to go ahead and cook some eggs on a skillet. I'm going to cook some rice with it as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are wondering, this is a product of Japan. I don't know if that means that they just make them in Japan, or if they design them in Japan, or design them and make them in Japan. As you can see, this is what you get in the box. And as you can see, it's very small and compact. Look at my hand. This is a small, compact stove. In addition to the stove, you also get a user's manual, which, unless you know how to read Japanese, it's not going to help you much. Or I do believe that there's an app out there that can translate for you, but this is all in Japanese. So I'm going to show you how we open this. As you can see out here, we have a setting knob. It's got 0, 1, 2, 3, and this is your highest setting right here is 3. And I'll show you how to start it, but there's a little icon right there that shows you that this is how you ignite it. All right, but I'm going to show you that here in a second. Now, to open this, it's very simple, ladies and gentlemen. At first, it took me a little bit to figure it out because the instructions weren't very good, being that I don't read Japanese. But as you can see, there's a little hole up here, and all you have to do is pretty much just pull it out, just like that. And this is what it looks like inside before you unfold it. And as you can see there, it has all of the working parts in there. This is a very simple stove that really anyone should be able to use without very much difficulty at all, if any, I would say. Now, to take it out of its casement, what you're going to do is you're just going to grab it from here and pull it out. And then one thing that you have to do once you pull this out is you're going to have to go underneath. And I'm going to show you this right here. You see this little button right here? This is the little button that holds it together and keeps you from twisting it, because you're going to have to twist this. All you have to do is push this button and it will allow you to twist the stove. There you go. Now all we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, to finish this setup is take these legs right here and just bring them until they don't go anymore. And there you go. Your stove is pretty much set up for you to use. The only other thing you're going to need besides that is you're going to need a can of butane. It takes these style cans, and you can buy these pretty much anywhere. You can buy them at Walmart. I bought these at the commissary, and they usually run around here. They run around $3.50 to $4 a can, but I do know that you can get them a lot less expensive if you buy them in bulk. You're going to go ahead and take your cap off, and then I'm going to bring you around to the other side to show you how you put this on, which is very simple. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you take a look at this can, you'll notice that there's a notch right here. You see that notch? And then if you take a look at the stove, you'll notice that there's also a notch on the apparatus which accepts the can. See that notch? So when you put your can in, you're going to go ahead and make sure that the notch is lined up with this, and you're just going to slip it in. And it's as easy as this. You see the notch? All you have to do is when you put it in there, align it, and then you're going to click it in until you hear it click. Did you hear that click, ladies and gentlemen? That click lets you know that this is secure in there. To take it out, all you have to do is pull the can up from the top, from the bottom, pull it up a little bit, and just slide it out. See that? Very simple. There you go, it's back in there. Now I'm going to show you guys how to turn it on. Alright, now that we've got it all set up, all we have to do now is turn it on. And one thing I did forget to mention, ladies and gentlemen, this does not have a safety mechanism or a locking mechanism for when you put your can in. So if, like, for example, if your knob is on 1 or 2 or 3 and you put your can in, it's going to start dispersing gas. All right, but it's just something that you have to make sure that it's on 0 before you put your can in. I noticed that mine was a little over, but there wasn't any gas coming out. All right, so let's go ahead and turn it on, and you'll see how simple it is. To turn it on, all we have to do is bring our knob all the way down to the bottom and click it. And as you can see over here, it has one of the igniters that is common in outdoor grills. You know, when you click your grill and it makes a little spark, it has a little igniter that is common in outdoor grills. And that's how the gas is going to turn on. So to turn it on, like I said, all you do is just go bring it all the way to the bottom, click it, and then bring it to the number 3, and that's on high. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that's on high, and that is throwing out a nice high flame. That right there is about 8,300 BTUs. I'm going to turn the light off so that you guys can see what it looks like, or how high the flame goes. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? So you're getting plenty of flame out of that thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure how much butane is in that can. I'm going to weigh it, and then we're going to go ahead and boil some water and weigh it again, time it, and see exactly how long it took to boil the water and how much butane it used to boil the water. So let's go ahead and do our first one. Okay, so here I have my kitchen scale. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And now that it's on, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and put it on ounces. That'll be easier. There we go, that's on ounces right there. We're going to go ahead and put our can on there. Now this weighs 12.4 ounces. Right? So it starts at 12.4 ounces. Now let's get to boiling our water. Alright, I'm not sure if you can see this very well on camera, but that's 2 cups of water, or 16 ounces. So we're going to go ahead and pour that in our pot. Alright, as you can see, I set my timer back there, or my stopwatch back there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start it, and start my stopwatch real quick, and I'm going to let this record and then just put it on high speed. That way you guys can see that it's actually taking that time. So let's go ahead and start it. Alright, it's started and it's on high. And as you can see, the stopwatch has started. We're at 5 seconds, and we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen, when this comes up to a boil. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is done. It is definitely boiling. As you can see, it came to a roaring boil, and it took just shy of 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for your information, this does not leave any smell. Like when I turn the burner on, you don't smell anything. So let's go ahead and turn on our scale. Let's make sure it's on ounces. It's on ounces. Let's put our bottle on. We are at 12.1 ounces. And if you remembered, when we weighed this before we used it for the water, it was 12.4 ounces. So it used 0.3 ounces to heat 2 cups of water up to a boil. I think that's pretty good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to let my hot water go to waste, so I'm going to have some breakfast. But I wanted to go ahead and cover this really quick. At the end of this video, if you want to watch, I'm going to go ahead and review the vitamin coffee and the apple cinnamon oatmeal from Nutrient Survival. As many of you know who saw my last video on this product, or on these products, there were a lot of questions in the comments. And I noticed that a representative from Nutrient Survival went on there and answered a lot of the questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to review these 2 items for you at the end of the video. And I'm also going to do a quick Q&A on the questions and answers that were asked and answered by the representative of Nutrient Survival. I'm going to cook a 2 dry cup pot of rice. And as you can see here, we're making sure that we have the same bottle that we had before. 12.10 ounces is what it is. So now let's go ahead and start making this rice. I'm going to grab the bottle just to show you again. There's the slot, okay? Put it in there, and then when you put it in there, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hear the click. All right, and here's our pot of rice. There's 2 cups in there. All right, so we're ready to turn it on. As you can see, my timer is on 0. I'm going to turn this thing on just like we did before. All you got to do is bring it all the way to the bottom, click it, and there it is. It's on. You guys could probably hear that gas coming out. Let's go ahead and start it. Our timer is running, and our pot is starting. Let me show you the timer. It's been 4 minutes and 42 seconds, and it's already up to a boil. So what we're going to do now is just stir it around a little bit. Wow, it's roaring. I'm going to go ahead and lower it. Cover it. And we will revisit this when it's on the 35-minute mark. And I want to show you something, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. It's my hand. You see the flame. Look. I've got my hand right under the flame. That's how safe I feel this is for cooking indoors, even on your kitchen counter. Kitchen counter is not hot at all. It's not even warm. All right, it might warm up a little bit if you have a big pot on here from the radiant heat from the bottom of the pot, but it's warm. Okay, so we'll be back when this rice is done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, bam. Let me turn this off. It's now completely off, and let's see. That was 34 minutes and 21 seconds. Let's call it 34:22. I'm going to write that down so that I can keep account of how much time we're taking up. And as you can see, it's still very hot. This just literally got done. The rice is cooked perfectly. And let's see. So we are at 11.2 ounces. So we ran that stove for 34 minutes and 22 seconds, and it only used 0.9 of 1 ounce. I think that is outstanding. Now let's go ahead and cook some eggs. Time for the eggs. All right, let's go ahead and turn the stove on. I've got a little bit of ghee in the pan. So they're done right there. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We cooked some eggs. We cooked some rice, and we boiled some water. Let's go see how much our total usage and fuel was. All right, so here we go. We're on ounces, and it's reading 11.05. So let me do a little math. Well, we started with a bottle that weighed 12.4 ounces, and we ended up with 11.05 ounces after a little more than 39 minutes worth of usage. So it used 1.35 ounces, roughly 1 1/3 ounces of fuel for 39 minutes worth of usage. That, ladies and gentlemen, I think is really, really good. What I'm going to do next is something I've never seen anyone do before. So it may succeed or it may fail, but we're going to give it a try. Ladies and gentlemen, I've never ever seen this done before, but I am very certain it's going to work. As you can see, we still have 11.5 ounces, which means that in reality, we only have about 7.3 ounces of fuel left in this can. I did a few numbers, and I think that what I'm going to do next is going to work. So come and check it out. I'm going to do some pressure canning, ladies and gentlemen. I've got 13 jars or 13 pints of black eyed peas in there. And as you can see, I have this on my counter. I put a cookie sheet, then I put a piece of wood, and then you can see, of course, there's the stove. I'm pretty certain there's enough fuel in that bottle to do a 75 to 80 minute pressure canning session, in addition to bringing it up to heat, to temperature, and to pressure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on. I've already got this all set. I didn't think you guys wanted to see me do something that I've done several times with you all. Everything in here is all set. The water's in there. All I have to do is put the lid on, start it up, and of course I'm going to start my timer so that we can see exactly how long we were using fuel for and how much it used for this session. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and turn on our stove. And I'm going to go start my timer. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. I'm just going to leave this right here on the stove so it can run. So for those of you that don't really do pressure canning, what we're doing here is we're going to heat this up. Once it comes up to temperature, steam is going to be coming out of this vent. And then once it's been steaming for 10 minutes, we're going to close our vent all the way to number 3. We're going to wait for our pressure to get up above 10 pounds of pressure. Then we're going to wait another 10 minutes before we start our timer for a minimum of 75 minutes because we're doing pints. I usually like to go a couple of minutes over, so I'll do it for 80 minutes. So I'm going to bring you guys back when this is starting to steam. That way you can see how long it's taken for it to heat up and start steaming. Okay, it is up to steam, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if you can hear very well, but it's coming out pretty good. As you can see, we still have the flame on high. And it's taken a whopping, let's see, 42 minutes. There's our timer. 42 minutes for it to come up to steam. How do you like my little tomatoes? That's my tomato harvest, ladies and gentlemen, from my arrow garden. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let that steam up for 10 minutes. Then let it get up to temperature and start our timer. So we will see when it gets done. I do have a second bottle of butane standing by just in case, but I don't think we're going to need it. But if we do, I will definitely let you guys know. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you, it's about 10 minutes into its processing. It's reached pressure and it's holding at about 12 or so pounds, which is great. But I just want to show you that once you get it up to pressure, you get to lower the flame substantially. So it's not going to use that much fuel. And I also want to show you that even at 10 pounds of pressure, which means that the temperature in there is about 250 degrees, look. So you see, it's not even hot. It's a tiny bit warm, but not hot at all. I can keep my hand down there for, I don't know, as long as I want really, or as long as I can. So there you go. We'll come back when it's all done. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to rush over here because my timer just went off. And it was just enough fuel in that can to process this for 80 minutes. I'm telling you, as soon as the timer went off, I had this light turned off in here so I can see the flame from my couch. And I'm telling you, as soon as the timer went off, that flame turned off. And it is empty. I tried to turn it on again to see, but it is empty. But as you can see, well, it's just a little bit below 10 pounds now. But it made it through the entire process. While that's depressurizing, might as well show you the time. We had that running for 2 hours and 21 minutes. That means that in total, we ran this for 2 hours, 21 minutes, plus 39 minutes. So that is a total of, I don't know, 3 hours in total. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that's pretty impressive. We had enough fuel in this can to boil 2 cups of water, to cook 2 eggs, to cook a pot of rice, and to pressure can a session of pressure canning for 80 minutes, plus all of the time that it took for it to come up to temperature and everything. So that's not bad at all, I think. I hope you guys enjoy this review. And if you guys are interested in taking a look at this stove, it is in my Amazon storefront. Now, the last time I looked, there was a couple of the black ones left and like 12 of a different color left. In addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, I went ahead and placed another folding stove in my Amazon storefront because it's a less expensive one. It only runs about $50 and it even comes with a case. I just thought that this was better than the other one that I saw, so I went ahead and purchased this one, and this one is $110. But the other one is $50. However, I have not reviewed that one. All done, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. Every one of them sealed. Even my used cap. But I won't find out for sure until tomorrow when I take the rings off. So I'll let you guys know. Next time that I do a video or next time that I do a live stream, I'll let you guys know if that one's sealed or not. Actually, I'll bring it with me. Alright, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I'll be doing a live stream this Sunday because I have a lot of work to do in the yard. It's time to start getting ready for winter, really. So if it's raining outside, I'll probably do a live stream from inside, and I'll let you guys know a few hours in advance. But more than likely, don't plan on a live stream this week. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys got something out of this, and I hope you guys go take a look at this little stove. It's definitely worth it. You saw with your eyes what it could do. And I think that going through one can of fuel to do all of the stuff that we did today, especially that batch of canning, I think it's pretty awesome. All right. So having said that, thank you very much for joining in. Now let's go ahead and get to reviewing these two items. Now the coffee, ladies and gentlemen, I have had before, and it is really, really good. But I'm going to go ahead and make it so you guys can see how rich it looks. And it is just a really good coffee. Now, for those of you that don't know about Nutrient Survival, they just started their company in early July. And they specialize in survival food. And they specialize in having foods that are nutrient rich. For example, this apple cinnamon oatmeal right here has 118 nutrients. This vitamin coffee has 13 essential vitamins. And the vitamin coffee actually really does taste good. So the apple oatmeal cinnamon, this is what it looks like. And let me smell it so I can tell you guys what it smells like. Well, you can definitely smell the apple, the cinnamon, and the oatmeal in there. You can actually smell the oatmeal. It's like I stated on the first video that I did about these guys, is that their food is pretty pure. So this only takes about 5 to 7 ounces of water. So we're going to go ahead and put the water on here, let it sit for a few minutes, and then we're going to make our coffee. And I actually like my oatmeal a little bit runny. So we'll see how that comes out. Now before I put the coffee in there, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to give you guys a screenshot. If you guys want to freeze, you can freeze and see what the information on the nutrients and nutritional facts are on this. So you can see it's loaded with a whole bunch of vitamins. I really stand by this product. I think it tastes really good. And I think that it's nice that it has all these vitamins. These items are pricey. And yes, they are. But remember, everything has its niche. This item may not be for you specifically, but it may be for someone else. Someone may be looking for something just like this. And here it is. Whereas you may not. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm putting this out there because I think it's a good product. I really do. I would not affiliate with these guys if I didn't think that they were offering a good product. This is what the packets look like. Now it's recommended on the box that you use anywhere between 8 ounces to 12 ounces of water. I'm going to go ahead and put about 11 ounces of water in there because it's still early in the morning and I really don't want to have extremely strong coffee. Because ladies and gentlemen, when you're getting a little older, you know what happens when you have really, really strong coffee early in the morning. One of the ways that I decide whether I like a coffee or not is when I try it for the first time, I drink it without anything in it. Without any milk, without any sugar, without anything at all. Okay? Now, I'm more of a milk and sugar with my coffee kind of guy, but I always try like this first and I really try to taste it and see if it tastes good to me, then I know that I like that coffee. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a quality product, okay? This is like I said before, you get what you pay for. This is a quality product. This is not your Folgers instant coffee that you pay $7 for a 32-ounce jug. Not saying anything bad about Folgers. I actually have a few of those tubs in my pantry. However, this is a quality product. It tastes really good. To me, just by itself, at that strength, at 11 ounces for one pack, it's a little bitter. So I definitely am going to put a little bit of sugar in here with a little bit of milk because that's how I like it anyway. This is what it looks like. Now, if I remember right, the other oatmeal that I had, it might have been this one. I'm kind of senile, ladies and gentlemen, but if I remember right, it wasn't sweet. And I remember when I first put a spoonful in my mouth, I was like, man, this needs sugar. That's the first thought I had. But then I decided to clean my palate and then taste it for what it is to see if I could taste the actual food in it. And I ended up doing so. So let's take a look and see what this tastes like. But here it is. As you can see little pieces of apples in there. See, it's got real pieces of apple in there. It's not just flavoring. If you guys go back to that original video I did, you'll see that I put up a placard with the nutritional information and the ingredients on everything. See that? All right, let's give it a try. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm eating this with a clean palate with the exception of the coffee. And the coffee being a little bit bitter actually helped the sweetness in this come out. This doesn't need anything. All right, this doesn't need anything. You can taste all of the ingredients in there. And it's like I said, this is good food. Like I said, there's a niche for everything. So if this is not for you, I understand. But I know that it's for some people. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's do a quick Q&A on the comments that were left on the previous video so that maybe you guys can get some answers to your questions that you asked. One of the first questions, ladies and gentlemen, was, does not say GMO or organic anywhere. So all that soy protein is from Monsanto. And then the reply from Nutrient Survival says, we use non-GMO soy that is the highest quality and purity available. That means the soy protein utilized contains only natural occurring amino acids. Another one, ladies and gentlemen, is I'll go take a look, but most things have so much sugar and my dad is diabetic. And the answer, or the reply by Nutrient Survival, you can see it there, or you guys can go back and look at it if you guys want. It says, don't worry, none of our products have more than 9 grams of sugar per serving. We like to keep sugar low on our products. And another one that was popular, ladies and gentlemen, is the shelf life. And here, someone asked, do they have a good shelf life? I'll have to look into the vitamin coffee. And Nutrient Survival replied with, yes, the majority of our products in number 10 cans have a 25-year shelf life. The bar meals and cookie meals have an 18-month shelf life as they are not fully dehydrated. We do this to retain that baked goods chewy texture. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that that answers some of your questions, because I know that if one question pops up in the comment, that probably another 100 people have that same question. So I hope that answered your question. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope that answered most of your questions, because whenever there's one question in the comments, there's 100 more that didn't ask that same question. So if you guys do want to take a look at this and you want to use my link, by all means, click on the link in the pinned comment or under the description of my video. If not, just go ahead and go to Nutrient Survival and they'll take care of you there. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. I hope you enjoyed the review of both the stove, especially, which was the main review. And I love this little stove, ladies and gentlemen. And of the coffee and the oatmeal from Nutrient Survival. Having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world will be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I am out.